Football is a simple game.
Football is a simple game.
22 men
Chase a ball
for 90 minutes.
And at the end,
The French,
Croatia will win the World Cup 2018.
Hi and welcome. My name is Camilla. Welcome to the World Cup show number 7. It is the last one before the great final of the World Cup 2018 in Russia, where Croatia has to beat France. Diego, come here.
Hey, I'm Chris, and be sure not to miss our live broadcast 45 minutes before the big showdown between Croatia and France. So we have a lot to talk about, right, guys?
That's true, and I'm super happy that Michael is here. I had my doubts.
Super happy.
I had my doubts that you're gonna show up after Croatia.
Me too, to be
broke
honest.
your heart.
They did break my heart.
Misery loves company, right?
Yeah,
Germany,
they did.
now England.
Yeah. But you know, they broke my heart, but I have a lot of love, a lot of pride for these boys. They went beyond what we ever expected them to do. So yeah, we did well.
You did, and I think you're not the only one with this opinion.
No, I mean, yeah, I know. The motto was, it's coming home to we're coming home. Unfortunately, but you did.
Not yet. We got a third, fourth playoff against Belgium coming.
You're right.
Not just yet.
No, we have a Sun article. We can look at the headline. Harry Kane, fantastic striker for the Three Lions, chimed in. We'll hold our heads up high. Gutted, of course, the emotional result of that. The England gave it their all, as you said.
Yeah, well, I mean, in many ways, Harry Kane is the face for the future. He's only 24 years old. He'll definitely have another 1 or 2 World Cups left in him. And it's a young team coming forward. So there's a lot of reasons to be positive. And I do genuinely think that we're just seeing the beginning from this England team.
Southgate, you applaud what he's done.
Oh, without doubt. He's a guy that no one really, when he got the job, it was just like, oh, okay. But he's proved himself.
Good.
Yeah. His waistcoats are real.
Michael, you have to be very brave right now because we're going to show the highlights of the game. A very intense game, England versus Croatia. Dania, maybe you can point out some of the highlights as we see here on the screen.
Done, Croatia.
So, Michael, did Croatia win because they are more experienced?
Yeah, I mean, you have to say that when you have players like Luka Modric, Ivan Rakitic, these guys have won multiple Champions Leagues. They've got real experience for this big occasion. So I think, their big game experience really came home. Also, I think as well, England missed a big opportunity. Harry Kane, who's usually so deadly, he had that chance to make it 2-0, and if he scores that, it's a whole different.
First half.
It's a whole different game at that point.
Croatia loses the ball in their own territory.
I mean, I think Croatia were ultimately more ruthless in front of goal, and that's what's got them through.
But the second half, they also completely outpossessed England. They put them on their back foot. Yeah. Their game management was top
they
quality.
realised that they had been let off the hook basically by England.
Yeah.
I think they thought, okay, well, this is our chance, and they went big. And as you just said, who knows what was said at half time, but it was along the lines of, okay, let's get back into this.
And they were weathered for this, right?
Yeah.
They realized they were a better team.
I mean, ultimately, they're a better team, and they deserve to go through.
Actually, I'm a little bit sad. We mentioned already Southgate. I'm sad that he's leaving the tournament, as he become one of my favorite characters.
He can still be your favorite character.
Yes, not because only of his style. He has also these really, how can I say, avant-garde training methods. Maybe you heard of this rubber chicken. Did you hear of that? Okay. And also here we go.
Oh, okay, right.
And also we talked about it on the last show that
I wouldn't try that at home.
That he went several times to the States to check out the NBA and the NFL. Cress, what can football learn from basketball or.
Well, I mean, we
football.
call it set plays in some sports. I mean, obviously, every sport runs plays, and you have to have a lot of movement, especially in a team-oriented sport like, NFL, American football. You have wide receivers that are creating space, attracting defenders. That's one thing a coach can learn from and see what works, see what movement works, how you can move your hands and create space and swim moves and rip moves and so forth. NBA basketball, the same idea. Thomas Müller, to talk about,
Yes.
one of your countrymen, is really good at space interpretation and going where the ball isn't to be a magnet of sorts. And Southgate just chimed in his experience in the States. He looked and enjoyed, the game and the action, but more importantly, looked at what he could take and steal and implement.
Yeah, and set plays are so important in international football because these guys don't get the chance to train with each other every week of the year. So they need to be. The set pieces are. You have to be good at them, and if you are good at them, it's like it's a big advantage.
Yeah, and it worked out well for them thus far. I mean, close but no cigar, unfortunately.
I have here a nice number. 70 goals out of 159 were set pieces in this tournament so far. So, England goes home, and
sadly.
Croatia is in the final for the first time in their history. Let's take a look at Zagreb. Are we taking a look at Zagreb? Zagreb. Yes.
Yeah, what can you say about Croatia? I mean, you have to give it up for, the country gained independence in 1991. They only have 4 million people living in the country. They have their best roster since 98. So it was time. It was, do or die time, for their, crop of talent. So it's nice to see them get through. They were considered a dark horse, and to see them prevail. I'm upset because I was a Super Eagle pulling for the Nigerian side, so a little split, because that bloody nose they gave, Leon Balogun. But Croatia, you got to give it up, especially for the hairstyle. I want to show this one hairstyle. I got to show Ivan Perisic. Can we pull up this hairstyle? Because this was the first thing that I took. We have this picture here. Can we take a look at the iPad? What we have here? No, we don't. Okay.
Anyway,
so we don't have it. We don't have it. Okay.
Dania, Croatia, did they deserve to play in the final?
Yeah, I think they did.
There's the picture, by the way.
There we go.
Okay, so now we do have it.
So,
what do you think? I love this.
Really
well, this
good.
is one of the things that really stood out to me during the Euros, and obviously, him scoring the first goal of the match. I mean, he was, Perisic was instrumental in their success, and it's good to see. This is what the World Cup is about, rising to the occasion, punching above your weight, and fulfilling your dreams. That's Croatia's, en route to do.
Yes, maybe you can just add one or two words about this team.
I think they definitely deserve to do it. I mean, we saw these glimpses against Argentina, and they just dismantled Argentina. And then we were doubting them a bit. And then I think in the second half of this game against England, there's no doubt about it, Croatia has a better team.
Yes.
They have more experience. They have players that are used to playing in these big games. And technically, they were also better. I mean, nothing to take away from England. They're young and they have a lot of potential. But Croatia, it was like in the second half, they realized we're a better team. We can outpossess them. We can put them on the back foot, and we can take this game. And that's what they did.
They're also incredibly solid.
Yeah.
They defend so
Yeah.
well.
Oh,
and, guys like Lovren, they
Was he playing rugby, or was he playing a little bit of rugby?
He
Wasn't
got
he?
a few punches in there.
For me, though, he's been one of the best defenders in the whole tournament.
Yeah, definitely.
So Croatia's opponent will be France. Wow, what a team, what a game. France won 1-0 against Belgium. And Dania, maybe all of us can talk about the highlights of this game. It was incredible. It was so great to watch, technical and tactical high quality, I would say.
It was a clash of two different styles, you have to say as well. And in the end, the more pragmatic style prevailed. I feel a bit sorry for Belgium. I think that they're a great bunch of individuals. They play really attacking football, and under Martinez, I think they do have another tournament in them.
Let's take a look at the highlights.
Highlights from the match.
Yes.
There's only one, right?
Yes. Yes. Can we say that this game was a masterpiece of defending football? Yes.
I mean, it was good. It was good defending. People have criticized France a lot because they say they play anti-football. They don't play nice football. They have a lot of great players. Courtois, Hazard. A lot of people said it. But you know what the thing is? France has shown that they have no problem, adapting their system to other teams. They defend well, first and foremost, as a unit. They defend, and they have no problem sitting back, letting other teams, like Belgium, outpossess them, play the game in front of them, and then capitalizing on their opportunities. And Belgium had no answers for that.
No.
They were compact in the defense. Varane and Umtiti were fantastic. And at the end of the day, who's going to the World Cup final? So we can say whatever we want, but their style is effective. They don't have to win 10-0.
Yeah.
This was a chess match, I think.
Yeah.
And clearly France prevailed. I mean,
It was
great
definitely cagey.
athleticism led to the goal, too. I mean, you always have to have that extra icing on the cake, right? You have to have some miraculous play, typically, when it's this difficult.
Just one moment just changed the outcome of the game. It could have gone either way for sure.
Yeah.
But also, by the way, they have a goalkeeper who's able to pull off a world-class save. He does nothing for 20 minutes and then suddenly keeps them in the game.
Yeah.
But I was quite surprised to hear the players, especially the Belgian players, after the game. You mentioned it, and we have also this.
Eden Hazard, we have a quote, right?
Yes.
For Eden Hazard. Can we take a look at this quote? Do we have the quote we can look at?
Yes.
Yeah. So here he is chiming in. I prefer to lose with Belgium than win with, and then that.
Wow.
France. I mean, that is obviously
He's being sour.
adds a little bit of, pour salt in the wound.
He's being a sore loser.
Sour grapes.
They got tactically outdone because they had no answers to the way France came out and played.
100%.
Hazard was coming so deep to get the ball that he took himself out of the game, essentially. He's better when he's up higher on the wing, and when he was coming back in to get the ball, he couldn't do what he does best.
It's true. Maybe he is a bad loser, but at the same point, I think a player like Hazard with these qualities, and he's playing against the greatest players maybe as Mbappé, Pogba, Griezmann, and all these guys. A guy like him, he wants to play football.
Yeah.
And I think it's okay that he criticized them. Maybe we.
And what else is he going to do? I mean, you have to keep it. It would kind of be odd for him to say, I wish I was playing on France rather than Belgium.
He does.
I mean, he's gonna, of course, gonna support his side, and that's just part of the, the nationalism that's expressed, right?
So the most exciting team of this tournament, I would say, the golden generation of Belgian football players. They didn't manage to make it to the final. Here are pictures from our colleague from Brussels, Sebastian Sam.
Hi from Brussels. I'm here with. Okay, I'll try this again. Hi from Brussels. I'm here with some 20,000 absolutely crazy Belgians. Viva la Belgica!
A little bit disappointed, but it's the football, so we still for Belgium till the end.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yes.
He's still for Belgium to the end, I think he was saying. And that brings the conversation to France, right? France, I think they're the team. I mean, you have to look at, Kylian Mbappe, obviously. He's a star in the making.
Yeah.
A star with diva tendencies, I would say.
Probably you'd say the favourite to win the Golden Ball, perhaps.
Yeah. Yeah. Magical feat. I mean,
Yeah.
the magical pass that was almost executed that he
Yeah.
had. That reminded me of a Leon Bailey goal, like in the Women's League a little bit.
Well, I think it'd be fair to say that no teenager has made an impact on a World Cup like Mbappe has since Pele.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy to see. Daniel, I mean, what's your take?
Yeah, I mean, he is definitely a key player for France. We even saw in the game against Belgium, like France looks to him because they know 1v1. It looks like he glides with the ball, just glides past people like they're not even there.
So graceful.
Yeah, he's clinical in finishing. He can finish. He's big. He's strong. He literally has it all, and he's 19, which, you know,
It's frightening.
It's amazing to see France, a team with such quality, relying so heavily, not heavily, but, you know, so much on him.
So France made it to the finals after 1998 and 2006 for the third time. Congratulations to that. And we have impressions from Paris. Oh. The Champs-Élysées is going crazy.
And the final will be Croatia versus France, and we will be live 45 minutes before kickoff right here on DW Kickoff's YouTube channel. All right, so where are we going now? What are we talking about?
I think we go to
Croatia's coach, or
to Russia. We go to Petersburg, and we gonna see how the French fans celebrated
France? Okay,
their
all right.
victory.
Hey, now it's time to go to our man Ali Moody, who is in Russia. He was at both the France and Belgium match and, of course, the Croatia-England match. Diego's upset about the England result, so we're going to go to Ali. Ali, how you doing, buddy?
Diego.
I'm good, Chris. Yeah, how are you guys?
We're doing good. Now, the first match. Now, break down the first match, the France and Belgium match. Not the most exciting match there. I mean, what was it like inside the stadium?
It was a little bit subdued in the stadium, you know. I've been to a couple of the Russia games here. I've been to games with some of the South American teams, and this was very different, very quiet. Not a huge number of French fans or Belgian fans. A lot of Brazilian fans around. Clearly, they expected their team to have beaten Belgium. And, yeah, they, I guess, couldn't sell their tickets or didn't want to, or just wanted to still be part of the tournament. But they obviously weren't making a huge amount of noise without having a team to root for. So, yeah, it was a little bit subdued. And the game, I guess, like the way it played out, probably didn't help that either, you know. It was a good kind of tactical battle, but not really like an exciting game that really gets people going. I really enjoyed it, but, yeah, the atmosphere was not the best.
Yeah, how do you rate Romelu Lukaku's performance? Kaká or what? I mean, because he had some opportunities. It looked like he couldn't really get anything past the French defense. You know, I mean, how do you rate that?
Yeah, he did struggle in the game, but I think a lot of the Belgian players struggled. You know, Hazard had a few flashes. De Bruyne did okay, but he was pretty well leashed by Kante. Lukaku, I think, just didn't get a whole lot of service. That one sort of half chance that he did get at the end of the first half, where it came to him very quickly, perhaps he could have done better with that. But I think it was more down to the French defence than the Belgian players. I think Varane and Umtiti in particular were just excellent. The whole team was set up to defend well. So, yeah, I think you have to give the credit to France rather than criticising Belgium.
Yeah, and then Umtiti obviously heading the goal in, you know, so yeah, good for France. And they up against Croatia the next match. England looked like they were destined to reach the finals. You know, let's talk about that match. What was the emotions like? What were the emotions like for you, and what you think?
Yeah, I mean, it was a bit louder than the game the night before in St. Petersburg, for one thing. The England fans turned up late to the party here in Russia, but they did make a lot of noise when they got here. They really got behind the team in the first half, and with the way the game was going as well, you really just felt like it was England's night. England were on top on the pitch, and in the stands they were making a lot of noise. So it felt like that was, you know, it felt like England had it in their hand. And then, of course, Croatia just changed the game. It was really impressive the way that they fought back, the energy that they had. Just the third time that they've come back from a goal down in the knockout stages. Is the third time they had to go through extra time in the knockout stages. The energy that must take is really incredible. You've got to give them credit for managing to pull through and look fresher than England. You know, in extra time, even though they played more football.
Now, Mario Mandzukic, you know, it looked like he took a boot to the knee from Pickford at one point. He was down. He looked like he was going to get subbed in. I thought, you know, they sprayed him with it must be some magical spray because he comes back and then he executes the game winner. You know, was that a shock to you to see that? You know, just how the sway of the momentum.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, Croatia have done it a couple of times already in the knockout stages, but I thought this would be a bridge too far for them. I thought that all the exertions of the last couple of games would get to them and that physically they just wouldn't be able to cope with England in this game. It turned out to be completely the opposite. I think if you look at the two Croatia goals, they both stem from players reacting quicker than the English defenders did to crosses and to passes. So it shows you just how much fight this Croatia team has in them, how badly they want it, and how well what good condition they're in physically. I mean, you know, let's not forget that a lot of hard work goes into being able to run for 360 minutes in the knockout stages just to get to the final. So, you know, huge credit.
And then just staying mentally focused. We saw Luka Modric lose the ball, you know, haphazardly a few times, but then we saw that early in the match. But, yeah, amazing to see moving forward to the final has been set, Croatia and France. Will we see the firepower of France in this particular match, or will we see the tenacity of Croatia prevail?
I think France will go the same way that they have done throughout most of the tournament, where we're all kind of a little disappointed that we haven't really seen them like rip through a team, apart from maybe that game against Argentina. I think we all wanted to see a bit more from the likes of Griezmann and Mbappe and so on. But what they have done every game is enough to win, apart from the Denmark game, obviously, where they fielded a lot of replacements. They just are going out there with the mindset, we're going to win this game, we don't care how, we don't care if we only score one goal, we're going to win it. We're going to do what it takes to get through to the next stage. And I think that will be what they do against Croatia as well. And I think at some point, all the exertion just has to get to Croatia. You know, 3 times they've gone to extra time, twice they've gone to penalties as well. Emotionally, physically, it must be getting to them. And I think France, being a much better side than England as well, will be able to take advantage of that. They have won all their games in 90 minutes, France. So you've got to think of it as Croatia basically having played an extra game of football just in the knockout stages.
True.
And I think that'll have an effect.
Okay, so we have Ali's words saying Croatia's fatigue will open the door to France success. We'll have to see if it plays out that way. Thanks a lot, Ali. And we also have a treat. We have some Croatian fans who, of course, are toasting, drinking beer, and eating lots of cevapcici. Let's take a look at their reaction.
Let's go,
So what can we expect from the World Cup final 2018 Croatia against France? I'm sure Dania knows it. And I'll help you. Here is the magic tactical board.
Which way are you going?
Want to come up here?
No, we start here.
Ah,
right?
okay. All right. Okay, so can we just move this back a little bit?
Sorry.
There, yeah, okay. Anyway, so we have them both lined up here on the same board, so you can see kind of how they would line up. So I think we're probably going to see Croatia stay with Brozovic in this area here, behind Modric and Rakitic, which I think is better because then Modric and Rakitic have the ability to go forward a little bit more, and it gives them a little bit more defensive stability in front of the defense there. Important is the matchup between Pogba and Kante and Modric and Rakitic, because Modric and Rakitic are so key to Croatia, and if Kante and Pogba can shut them down, it's going to be very difficult for Croatia. Also, as we showed, we're missing somebody. Rebic is gone. Okay, he fell off. Their wingers out here are going to try, Rebic is gone. We've lost him. He should be here, but...
Wait, write down Rebic.
It's all right. In the last game, okay, I said it before, that Perisic and Rebic need to get wide in order to stretch the defense. They did it against England. We found Rebic. We found him.
But well, actually,
so
we
you
haven't.
don't need my one.
No, we. Okay. So we said they needed to get wide in order to create problems for the defense of England, and they did. But it's going to be more difficult against France because France in the defense is very, very organized, and Varane and Umtiti are very good right now, and Mandzukic is going to have his work cut out for them, especially when they get balls into the box. So I think it'll be interesting to see, number one, how France deals with Perisic and Rebic getting wide and getting down the line, and, these two players, what they can do when the ball's in the box, how they can get it out.
And they can score.
Yes. I mean, France, obviously, we know that France can score, but France has shown that they're totally okay with just scoring one goal and winning the game. So we know that Mbappe is going to be a threat. Matuidi, he was also very good. Griezmann in combination with Giroud. Giroud, I don't think was so good the last game. He didn't show his finishing abilities very well.
Exactly, yeah, I thought.
So, I mean, Croatia's going to hope that he has a similar game to the last one.
In this tournament, right?
Yeah, but he's played it, I think he should score, and I think there were better options that France could have taken to the World Cup. We know that.
Benzema?
We know that. I'm a Benzema fan. But anyways, Giroud has, through the tournament, he's held up the ball. He's been that kind of 9, aside from, scoring goals. But so, Deschamps likes him. He keeps going with him. So...
Thank you so far, Dania. Yeah, maybe we can put the board over there. And my first question would be... He didn't score once, no assist, but probably the most important player of this tournament, especially for France. Who am I talking about? Right, 100 points. He is all of them play well, but he is definitely the key player of France.
He's definitely, because he's just so... He's so consistent. He's always there. He's always in the right spot. You know that you can count on him to make that tackle, to break up an important play for an opponent. He doesn't need the flash. He doesn't need the hype. He just does his job, and France can't do without him.
Well, we've seen some great performances from Pogba in this tournament, but I don't think he's able to do that without the security of Kante behind him.
Sorry for interrupting, because the whole country is loving him. There is a song for Kante. Maybe we have it. Maybe we can listen to it. Maybe we can, yeah.
N'Golo Kanté, ba-da-ba-da-da. N'Golo Kanté, ba-da-ba-da-da. Il est petit, il est gentil, il va bouffer Léo Messi, bientôt sur les Champs-Élysées.
That's amazing.
And incredible.
Small and he's
and
nice.
It's really incredible as you see what kind of people they have in this team, but they honor this little tiny Kante.
And I think it's Deschamps plays him because he sees a lot of himself in Kante. So.
They play the same position.
Yeah. They called him the water carrier when Deschamps was playing, and Kante, well, similar kind of guy, but I don't think water carrier does him justice. So.
No, yeah, but still,
Yeah.
So when we look at Croatia, Dania, probably we stick to Modric and Rakitic as the most important players. It sounds so stupid, the most important players.
No, yeah, but also it would be interesting to see what Perisic and Rebic can do on the wings. If they can stretch France's defense, because France's defense was very compact and very narrow against Belgium. If Croatia can stretch them and maybe create some holes, some disconnect, they'll have a chance at success. And we need to see how they come out.
Rebic might have a difficult game against Matuidi, though, because Matuidi really knows how to dig in and help the team. Perisic could be dangerous, though, because Mbappe doesn't provide that same kind of defensive cover.
Yeah.
Yes, we actually never really talked on this show about the guy down here next to your...
Zlatko Dalic.
Right behind.
Exactly. Who is this guy, Michael?
Wow. I mean, I don't think anyone really knew who he was before the
Croatians
tournament.
didn't really know who he was.
I mean, he was coaching in the Saudi Arabian League 8 years ago. He was fired from that job and ended up working in the United Arab Emirates immediately before getting the Croatia job with Al Hilal and Al Ain. Not an obvious calling card for a Croatia job, and you know he's done such a fine job with them. I mean, I think usually in a tournament it's a player that's the breakout star. You know, we saw in the last one with James Rodriguez, but you have to say this time it could be a coach. Yeah, he's really impressed.
Well, definitely when you consider, you know, what the coach is really responsible for, right? You're not teaching any kind of skills to the players. You just have to motivate them, get them over the hump.
Especially in international football, you know, it's not so much about the specifics of the tactics. It's more about cohesion and fight.
Definitely.
I mean, obviously tactics come into it, but, you know, he's come in and...
he spearheaded the mental fortitude. I mean, clearly... the mental game of Croatia has been superb, right? Like, you know, they had some rock'em sock'em, the physicality they bring. You know, they've proven that they can overcome adversity, and that starts with the coach. He sets a tone mentally.
That's also the mentality of Croatians in general.
Fighters,
as a population.
Definitely.
They have that fighting spirit to the very end. And we've seen that in their games. They'll take it to the very end. In penalty shots, right to the very end.
The mentality of this team is unbelievable, and probably their secret weapon.
So one last point, we should mention the goalkeepers, as they were mentioned 2006 with Buffon, 2010 Casillas, then Manuel Neuer 4 years ago. So, right.
4 years ago.
Who is the goalkeeper of this tournament? Is it one of those guys?
You have to look at, I mean...
they're in the final.
They remain. Right?
Yeah.
So you have to look at them.
Subasic has had some great moments, but for me, Lloris, I love this guy. I mean,
because you're a Tottenham.
It's got nothing to do with that. But I mean, he's talk about overcoming adversity. I mean, for the last 3 months of last season, he wasn't great by his own high standards, admittedly. But he's really come into this tournament and been superb. And I mean, the save against Uruguay that he made was just stunning, world class, and he made a great save against Belgium as well. For me, keeper of the tournament is.
They're finishing their story right now. I mean, runners up in the Euro 2 years ago. That's very, you know, the last major international tournament, at least for them. And now it's like they've ascended, you know. And I personally I think he's going to be a problem for anyone to maintain and keep up with his pacing. And obviously, you know, he has
and also you look at the back four for Croatia, and they're not the most mobile. Mbappe's got that.
That's what I'm saying.
And
because you saw the trouble that Raheem Sterling was creating for them. They had trouble, you know, catching up with him as well. So I think their pace is tit for tat. Mbappe might actually win that.
But you know, Rio Ferdinand, he was talking about the other day, they asked him, how would he have defended? And he's like, I would look up and be like, please help me. But then he said that defending a player like Mbappe is not just about, you know, maybe Vida against Mbappe. It's about anticipating the ball before it comes to him, not letting him get faced up to you, and also relying on your teammates to then step in as well.
Yeah, don't be bashful to call for help. You'll need it. You'll have to have a shadow to help you. Because if you don't have a guy back there, you're dusted.
Friends, it's time for our last prediction round. And you guys out there are welcome to predict too. So who will win the final 2018 in Russia? These are yours.
Oh, these are mine.
So which flag is which? I'm joking.
Oh, my God.
I don't have any, but I will take
comments on that right away.
It's a joke. Oh, I know who I'm going with.
Yeah.
Didn't you go France at the beginning?
Yeah, I'm a France. I like their players. I like Pogba. We see him defensively stepping up. I mean, obviously, he netted the one lucky goal in their first match. And Mbappe, I'm a big fan of Kylian Mbappe. So France all the way. I do hate Benzema is not with the team.
Me too.
But, hey, if they walk away with a cup, they walk
Michael, we start with the boys.
Yeah, I think France too. I think they always do enough to win. And, OK, they don't always excite in the way that some, you know, Belgium have, for example, in this tournament, but they always do enough. And if Croatia score 1, France will score 2. That's the way it goes.
Ollie Moody also said France.
Yeah.
Everyone's saying
Everyone's
France.
saying France exactly, except me.
I'll check the odds.
You're gonna go? You're gonna go against?
I'm
gonna go with you then.
I go here. Come on, girl. I go with Croatia. I know that this is quality, and I don't see any weakness up there in the French part. But I saw them fighting. I saw passion, and I want you to win.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with you in the fact that also like the last 3 World Cups I think have been decided in extra time, and actually one in PKs too. So I think it's gonna be tough. I want to say that it's gonna be difficult for Croatia, and they're gonna be tired and extra game and stuff. But just the fighting spirit, and it's historical for their country. Maybe I'm going with who I really want to win, but like it's just I like the story.
I think you're right that if it goes to extra time, I'm going to start doubting my choice.
You're gonna doubt it.
They have yet to go there.
They just have
been there, done
another.
that.
They have another level underneath, somewhere where that they can dig to and like get a strength out.
I get goosebumps when you
Yeah.
talk.
Okay. All right. So don't forget our live show will be 45 minutes before kickoff of this major showdown, France versus Croatia. You've heard all of our picks here. So 2 for France, 2 for Croatia.
We're excited
The
to know
France
what
fans are gonna be pissed at
what
me.
you predict. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for coming, and see you
Pleasure.
on Sunday.
Football is a simple game.
Football
It's a simple game.
22 men
Chase a ball.
for 90 minutes.
And at the end,
The French
Croatia will win the World Cup 2018.